Welcome to MLS on the Bench podcast.
Hi, and welcome to MLS on the Bench. Welcome back to the bench. This is MLS on the Bench with Emmanuel. Glad to have you join us again for another time of learning and sharing around medical science as discipline and also with its professionals. Today we are going to continue our bench conversations. Remember from our first episode, we said that the bench is an acronym BENCH, and C stands for corporate and commercial. So we are going to be having a conversation with a young MLS who has seen the commercial side of things as a student MLS and now as a young medical scientist practicing. So we have an amazing session prepared for you guys. We can't wait to begin. But before we dive in, let's meet our guests.
Hi, my name is Ferraz Mitchell, a medical laboratory scientist and the medical cleaner. I graduated from the University of Benin and I'm currently undergoing my internship training at a federal medical center. I am really honored to be on this episode today.
Welcome to the bench, MLS Praise. We are glad to have you join us, CEO of Sparkle. Welcome. Alright, before we go in, I would like to know what's your specialty and why did you choose your specialty? I say it again. What's your specialty and why did you choose that specialty?
I specialized in chemical pathology and I chose that specialty because chemical pathology is really beautiful and intriguing. I fell in love with it during my study and it's something I really understood better than the rest specialty. So that's why I chose it.
Alright, thank you very much. Welcome, Brothers Grace, to the bench. Glad to have you here and we hope you enjoy our conversation together. So straight into it, you are a business owner. Why did you want to start out? Why did you want to launch into the business space? What problem, as it were, was so frustrating, or what did you really see that made you want to say you want to do this now, even before you graduated? Going on. So why did you want to even start out into that space, even while you were schooling? What's the ideology behind it? We'd like to know.
Okay, I won't say there was a specific frustrating moment for me because I was a regular student and as most students, I was receiving allowances from home. But we all know that money is never really enough and I needed to make extra cash. I actually dived into graphic designing until an opportunity disguised as a problem came into play. This was after the 8 months ASU strike. A lot of students were faced with a particular problem, and that particular problem was how do they clean their apartment, because all their apartments were dirty. 8 months of accumulated debts were all in the rooms in the apartment, and they were looking for people to come and clean, and that's how Sparkle cleaning service was bettered. We saw an opportunity and we dived in.
That's really cool. So I would like to also ask this question. You know that this can be very difficult to balancing the work or the schooling, as it were, general schooling and now MLS schooling. Balancing that and also balancing your business. How did you achieve that? Did you treat your business as a course, like the MLS course that you dedicate specific time to, or was it dedicated weekends? How was that working?
You know that MLS department is one of the hectic departments in University of Benin, and 400 level, 500 level, we had back-to-back classes. There was literally little or no time for yourself, so we had lots of work. So the first thing I had to do was to sit myself down and make myself understand that the major reason why I'm in University of Benin is to get a degree in medical laboratory science. So every other thing had to come secondary. Sparkle cleaning service had to be secondary. So I attended classes and I scheduled most of my cleaning for weekends when there was no class. And during free periods and sometimes after classes, I go for cleaning. I also had to like realign my reading time to midnight, so that when I come back from cleaning, I'll have to sleep and rest first, then wake up later in the middle of the night to read. So finding balance is really, really important. So, and I was glad I was able to find balance, that it didn't affect Sparkle Cleaning Service, did not affect my education, and my education did not really affect Sparkle Cleaning Service.
Wow, that's nice. Very, very interesting points. Thank you very much for sharing. In terms of finance and funding, because funding is one of the issues that most people face when they ask them, when you say I'm starting a business, next thing is that I need to get funding. And yes, funding is important, but we realize that funding may not be all that you need when you're starting out. So for you, how did you get to your funding to actually start? Or you use your own funds, you give family and friends, you take a loan? What did you actually do?
Okay, the good thing about service-oriented businesses is that you actually require little or even no capital. And for me, I did not need a lot of capital. The only thing I started with was cleaning equipment. I started with mop and broom and cleaning agents. So I also had to like tell my clients that they have to pay 50% deposit before I can come for the job. So they pay me, and from the money I was able to use part of the money to get the things I needed for the cleaning. So after the cleaning, they pay me the balance. So I actually did not need a lot of capital for me to be able to do Sparkle Cleaning Service.
That's true. That's for most service businesses really have the advantage of less capital intensiveness eventually, but as you move up, as you scale up, that's when more money now. As more money comes in, it makes it easier. That's really good to know. Thank you. Speaking of your discipline as an MLS student, was there an advantage being an MLS Medical Lab Scientist? Did it give you an advantage in this particular business as well? No, they are related as cleaning and hygiene. So did it really give you an advantage? Did you see it clearly that being an MLS is an advantage in this business?
Yes. Being a medical laboratory scientist has given me an edge in the cleaning industry. My knowledge as a cleaner and also my knowledge as a medical laboratory scientist has helped me greatly. So that's why the word medical cleaner was formed, the name medical cleaner was formed. As a medical laboratory scientist, I understand and have well-grounded knowledge on microorganisms and how some of them are causative agents in illnesses. So this has helped me to introduce an extra service called disinfection. So whether it's post-construction, moving in, post-innovation, we've added disinfection services to it. So I've also introduced the Medical Cleaner Hygiene Series by Sparkle Cleaning Service. It's actually a means to enlighten the general public on how dirty environments can lead to some of these common diseases and illnesses. Like for example, malaria. The causative agent of malaria is found in the Plasmodium. It's carried by mosquitoes, and this mosquito breeds in dirty environments. So when you keep your environment clean, and also when you practice proper hygiene, you are able to prevent most of all these illnesses, even typhoid, and all others. So it has actually given me an edge.
Awesome. Wow, that's really a good one. Thank you very much for sharing. So now, before we go, I'd like to know what's your final word? What's your final word to a young MLS listening, a student listening that wants to start out but struggling in decision, or what's just that word that will encourage them to push and to strive?
Okay, my advice to young guys out there that want to go into business is that business is not easy, so you need to have the right mindset towards it. So that even when you encounter challenges, you know the reason why you are in business and you will stick to it to the end. there are some changes you go through, be like, who sent me this one? So I feel you should also research about the business you want to go into. Do your proper research before you go into it. Knowledge is important. And also, I know you're going to be scared, skeptical, but do it scared, because in the long run, it's going to pay.
Victor, that's an inspiring one. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing MLS Praise. We are glad to have you, and we wish your business journey greater endeavors, greater gigs to clean and to make a difference as the medical cleaner. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much, MLS Emmanuel Sakwe, for inviting me to speak and share my insights on MLS on the bench. Thank you so much.
And that's all for this episode. We are glad to have you join us. Let me drop it here that we are doing this episode is going to continue from a different perspective, but that's just what. Yes, we're going to have this episode again with different guests. We do twist on it, but stay tuned for our next episode dropping next weekend, and we hope to see you listening. We want to share with your fellow students who this will really help them to leverage and to thrive in their journey. And till next time, see you.